Rewritten Timelines just had their biggest leak yet, with a full 3 minutes of actual gameplay, and if you do not know, Rewritten Timelines is an upcoming Undertale ASIM that I've covered on the channel before. And overall, the fact that they've already got some gameplay clips out already is extremely impressive, and I'm going to be analyzing it, telling you guys about these two characters and what I've seen that's a part of the gameplay loop. But before we get into it, you guys are pushing me to 5k subs at an insane rate, so make sure to subscribe to be one of my first 5,000 subs. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first part of this gameplay I find really interesting is how Frisk actually absorbs all of the human souls. So looks like Chara, the killer, is going to be in for, well, a very, very difficult fight. As you know, people who are a fan of Undertale will know the 7 human scrolls are super powerful, used to open up the barrier, which holds monsters and humans apart. But yeah, I think this will be probably exclusive to LMS. Whenever Frisk is the last one remaining, she'll get all the 7 human souls to give her a fighting chance against whatever monster or killer she's up against. But the next big thing I want to bring up is how she has these abilities: fight, call for help, and save. And this is a very interesting way of doing this, as you know, most games just put it in like the left or the right. I do really like the way this is looking, although I'm a little conflicted with the timer being at the bottom, as I think it might look a lot better at the top. Who knows, this is not final, so we'll see what they do with it. But I do like the way they're doing this, and it's an homage to Undertale, how you have these abilities and how they're, at the bottom. And these are things you can do in Undertale. So yeah, I feel like this makes a lot of sense. So next up is the first real moment we get to see the killer, right here, when she just drops down from out of nowhere, does a roll, which means there are going to be rolls part of the movement, and you also get to see the fight ability, which is also going to be an homage to Undertale. When, whenever you have the fight meter, if you hit perfectly in the middle, it does more damage and it's more effective. I'm assuming the way this is going to work in-game is if you hit in the middle, the stun's obviously going to last longer. If there are some of these killers that you might be able to take down, then maybe it will also do more damage. But this is a really cool first ability. But it's not long before we get to see the next ability, which is going to be save. So as you can see, whenever save gets hit, the first thing that's going to show up is a menu that gives you the ability to either save in place or throw your save, which might be kind of overpowered, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see, as I feel like having a teleport anywhere is really, really good. Of course, I don't think this save heals for now, which is very good, because yeah, it would be OP if you just lost all your health and then you just revived it all through a save. So that would be a little bit too broken. But it is looking really, really cool, especially with you having the ability to throw it, which is a really cool thing. It might be a little bit overpowered, but we'll just have to wait and see. Also, something I did not mention in that clip is that you do get to see one of Frisk's abilities, where she has a projectile forward attack, which I feel like is going to be necessary, especially because, as you'll see later on, she does a very, very small amount of damage with her M1s. So speaking of Chara's current M1s, they are going to be looking a little bit weak, as you can see here, but also you also get to see fight in a little bit better action, as they go for some kind of flanking maneuver where they jump directly behind him and backstab them, which, I guess they're like secretly a pro spy player. But regardless, you guys might be wondering why they made Chara's M1 so weak, and that's because it gives you an effect. And that effect is some kind of bleed that leads to an explosion that does certainly a lot more damage. So with effects like this, I really like them because it always gives you the chance to, heal up before the full damage comes and possibly survive getting downed or getting killed. We do not yet know the system, but we're just going to have to wait and see. And yeah, it is a pretty cool feature. I do love these kind of effects, and they do make M1s a lot more interesting. But last but not least, we have what appears to be Frisk's last current ability, which is going to be some kind of heal, which is activated by calling for help. Which, if you know in the series, calling for help does actually lead to you getting healed by the humans whenever you're fighting Azrael Dreamer, one of the bigger bosses of the series. So that is a really cool homage, and it's certainly an interesting way to bring in kind of a self-heal and not have it be kind of bland and boring. It's because this is something Frisk does in the game, so it is game accurate. But the next thing is really awesome. It's going to be how you escape in this game. And unlike it being a ring or something like that, it's going to straight up be the barrier, or at least a reference to it, I believe, which is a giant beam of light. And yeah, this thing looks sick. It's literally a giant orbital ray of light. This is one of the most insane escape routes any game can really incorporate, and I think this is really, really awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the gameplay, but I do have a theme I want to show you guys, the LMS theme that is used in this video, and it sounds really, really good to give you guys a sneak peek of the kind of music this game's going to be giving you. If I'm to be honest, this is one of my favorite kind of themes I've heard come out of an ASIM. I love Undertale music. All of it sounds really amazing. So maybe it's just me personally, but I think it sounds awesome. And I can't wait to be hearing this in-game. But overall, that's probably going to wrap it up for this video. Make sure to check out Rewritten Timelines down in the description. I'll leave the Discord server. You guys can find the theme there and everything else about the upcoming game. But that's going to do it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.